Old stories, old loves, old patterns all seem to echo a little louder today. Okay, it's like there's a mirror being held up for us to look upon, asking us to see where we've carried something too long, whether things still belong in the life we're building. So today is about clarity. It's kind of a crossroads kind of energy. The choices, the relationships, our money habits, the patterns that once defined us may no longer fit the story that we are scripting for ourselves going forward. And so the more we are willing to see those truths, the more freedom we will find to step into or towards the future that's calling for us. Join me as we gain an understanding of how to embrace this energy. And by the end of our time together, it is my intention that you now have the insight to go forward with confidence, with clarity, with love. So, hi, I'm Tilly. This is Tarot with Tilly. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all the positive, loving support you send me each and every day. I send it right back to you. Welcome to your daily focus, October the 2nd, 2025. And today we have the energy of the two. The two energy. The two energy is about couples and new partnerships and new relationships one-on-one. But I think it's more important to stress that the two is also about the magic that surrounds us and the magic that lays within us. Our birthright to use, our talents, our abilities, our unique self. And to not only go inward and seek that out within us, but to bring it out into the open and utilize it going forward. If we look at the daily numerology, it'd be a 1 plus a 2 plus a 9, and that gives us a 12 energy. The 12 energy is about being in the moment. It's about, taking a new perspective upon the things that we are walking through, the events and situations in our life, without emotion, but with logic. To understand where we have control in our life and where we need control in our life and where we need to give up control in our life or to surrender to something. But to be in the moment, to take a step back and look at where we are and where we are going. 1 plus 2 is the 3 energy, and the 3 energy is all about transformation. It's about our curiosity, our mind, our words, the conversations we have. To allow curiosity to lead our heart towards new adventures, stepping outside of our comfort zones. Okay, so yesterday I announced that the journal, Every Day I Choose Me for 2026, would be changing a price point on October the 6th. And if you wanted to take advantage of that thank you for your support price point. Because remember, it is 410 pages. It does cost a lot to print that. So I went as cheap as I could. But, I said the window was closing, but I really, really did not feel comfortable with that decision, even when I made it. So I spent the afternoon with my incredible webmaster, and they worked their magic. And now, the link that I give you will work, but now if you visit my website, that price point is always available if you use that link. So it's there for you. And I am still, I didn't forget about it. Okay, I know several of you have asked for a PDF, for it to be in a PDF form. And I'm trying to work that out so that you don't have to print 410 pages, but rather it is something that you can, like it would be something that you could actually write in the space provided for you for for your journaling part. So I haven't forgotten, and hopefully I will have a fix soon. I thought I was going to have the whole weekend to do it. My weekend got crammed, so I don't think I'm even going to be home this weekend anymore, but I am trying to work on a fix for that. Okay, so my ask to you though is, if you have purchased your journal and you are thrilled to be holding that journal in your hands, and you want to, if you could write a review. So you go back to the link on where you purchased it, but scroll to the bottom and where it says leave a review. That would really help me tremendously in putting it out there to the world. So I thank you in advance for that, because, well, you guys just rock, right? You guys just rock. So the links will be in the description box. Absolutely. Okay, Sun is in Libra. Moon is in Aquarius. And Venus is opposite the North Node. Most people just talk about Venus is opposite the North Node, and we forget then that Venus is also conjunct the South Node, which in my mind says there's got to be more to the story than what everybody's telling us. And so, let me break it down. Okay, so Venus, for newcomers, Venus is the planet of love, relationships, beauty, money. Okay, and it's sitting directly with the South Node. Okay, and that is the point of past patterns, karmic ties, old stories, old cycles. At the same time, Venus will be sitting directly across the sky from the North Node, which represents our future, our growth, the lessons our soul is going to and is here to probably learn. So it creates this moment where we're kind of in between the past and the future once again. And they both feel equally strong. So we have to find that middle ground. Whenever there is an opposing, we got to find, but the opposing is our past versus our future. Okay, and we got to find a middle ground of how to be in the now and make decisions that affects us going forward based on our past decisions. So we may be pulled towards something that still feels very familiar to us, even though we kind of know deep down that it does not support us any longer. We could feel the tension of being asked to grow, because that's scary on its own, to stretch beyond our comfort zones, to leave behind a version of ourselves perhaps that we have outgrown. So the opposition creates a tension in our lives. Okay, so we could easily be pulled in both directions. Okay, and it's very tempting to just stay with what's easy, yet our soul's craving more. We want something different. We want things to change. So reflect on who and what we've been giving our energy to. Are we repeating old patterns? Are we ready to step into a healthier version of ourselves? Look in your life where comfort has become the standard, the complacency. We're starting to stagnate. It's because this is a chance to shift ourselves towards choices that create long-term growth instead of some kind of short-term relief. Okay, because when we stay in our comfort zones, we can breathe. It's okay. We know what's happening around us. We know what to expect. But when we step out of that comfort zone, okay, that's and taking that step of bravery, that step of strength, and things will show themselves to us today. So be aware. Okay, notice the stories we tell ourselves about who we are, what we deserve. Okay, because most of that is old echoes. Okay, do they reflect the truth of your worth and value today? Is it still your story? I mean, I'm guilty of it. Okay, I quite often talk about my story as a single mom raising 3 kids, 2 with autism. Guess what? They're all in their 30s. That part of me is over, but yet I still kind of use that as a part of who I am today. And learning to just take the lesson from that and reinventing myself. Okay, so where do you need to reinvent your story that, yeah, that was a part of your life? Maybe you had a rotten mother or a rotten father, or you were in an abusive relationship, or you dropped out of school when you were 15 and now you're 30 and you don't know what to do. That was your story, yes, and it's very valid. But are you still living that story? Or is it time to pay attention to what you are moving towards? Okay, so imagine, like you reconnect with somebody from your past, and boy, that pull feels strong, comforting. It could even feel nostalgic. But deep down, that story's already been lived. That it's not going to last if we really think about it. Maybe it will. Maybe you thought okay, maybe it's a spending habit. Okay, you thought you'd outgrown it, you put it to bed, you didn't do that anymore, and it starts to resurface at the very moment you're trying to build a new financial foundation for yourself, okay? Because that's how the energy is going to show up in our life. The temptation of the past, of just sitting idle, of just sitting in that stagnant energy. And that temptation is colliding with the call of our future. So on an energy day like today, we need to ask ourselves, where in my life do I feel pulled back to what's familiar? Even if it no longer serves me. What is, where am I doing that in my life? How can I honor my past without letting it define my future self? We stand at the crossroads between past and future. So Venus with the South Node, it's shining a light on our old patterns in love, in money, in self-worth. And the opposition, her opposition with the North Node, invites us to grow beyond them. So the tension is between comfort and growth. But it's also an opportunity for us to choose. So yes, kind of a crossroads kind of energy. An opportunity to choose what supports the life we want going forward. And it's not about erasing the past. It's about recognizing its lessons and then choosing to walk forward with a sense of clarity, self-respect, and vision. Okay, let's turn to the card, shall we? Who do we have there? Oh, look at that. Seven of Pentacles. Where is your focus and where does it need to be? Where is the consistency in our plan? What are we focusing on? Our yesterdays or our tomorrows? And we are coming up, not too far away where we'll be talking about a full moon. I believe that full moon, don't quote me, Aries, I believe. And all these energies with the North and South Node is calling to us to look at some of the things that we want to release. So know that when I talk to you about these things, it's not a you've got to do it all today kind of energy, but it's a good day to start to look in this direction, to start to walk maybe a new path or prepare yourself to walk a new step. Underlying energy is, look at that, the Magician. What do you want? What do you want? Now, the Magician has all four elements on the table. This is a balanced energy. We tell the Magician what we want. He sends it up to the heavens. It comes back down and answers, and boom, he points it down to the earth and it manifests for us. And if it were just that easy, and I think it is, I think we do overcomplicate it a lot being human. There's got to be more to it, so we add to it and then it doesn't work and we sit there and scratch our heads. Because I have manifested a lot of things in the last couple of years that, I'm going to have to make a list of it because it's just, when I really, really put my heart center into it, when I really put the emotion into it, when I do it consistently, and I talk about, the money is there, It's in the account. I love looking at it, spending it. I love investing it. I love the fact that money flows to me and through me. I love my relationship. I grow it stronger and deeper every day. There's always meaningful acts of kindness and support and love within everything we do together. Our love grows and grows more and more each day. And when you start to say these things, I want a beautiful F-150 sitting in my driveway. I'm going to start it up. I'm going to put it in reverse. I'm going to back it out of the driveway. I'm going to drive it down the highway. I'm going to open up the windows and the sunroof and even the back window and just let the breeze blow through my hair because I'm driving that F-150. It's arrived. It's in my driveway. And it took a long time for that to show up in my driveway, but it got in my driveway. So I think I started to babble there. Oh, I found something really cool. You know how I'm always like doing this, and it was driving me nuts. And I thought, I'm cuddling with Dylan. Maybe it's Dylan hair. But when I would do this, I would never see any hair, and that always kind of mystified me. And then I was taking a workshop, and they asked, "Do you ever feel like you got hair or spider webs or something? Your face is tingling." I know my mentor. His ears start to become itchy. He starts doing this because his ears are driving him nuts. And that is all a present of, I guess, spirit showing up and being there. And yes, I know I channel through this, so that only makes sense that that's their way of saying, okay, we're here. Let's do this. Anyways, the devil. Look at this, the magician and the devil. The phoenix rising out of the ashes. We haven't seen this card was coming up over and over and over and over and over and over again. I think in March, maybe into April, but March, February, this card was coming up asking us to be the phoenix rising out of the ashes, to know that we have evolved to a certain point. We cannot go any further. We have to get out of our comfort zones. When the phoenix gets to the ripe old age of the death, they light on fire, they burn to ash, and out of that ash a new baby phoenix is born. And then we grow, right? And we fulfill our dreams as the phoenix rising out of the ashes, the birth, the rebirth of who we are and who we are becoming. And then we have the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands tells us that we are, well, we're standing in knowing who we want to be and where we want to go. And I think because of this card coming out, I think it's going to be we'll be very aware of what we need to let go of in order to really walk this path. And we are making the decision to do just that. We are standing up and we are boldly stating, this is where I'm going. I want you to come with me. But if not, hopefully our paths will cross again. Because this is what I want to do going forward. This is who I want to be going forward. This is who I'm becoming. So support me and love me and cherish me as we walk this path together. But you're ready to do it alone. You're ready to be the independent. And we have a full moon in Aries coming up. Aries is the independence. So we are walking towards standing in our truth in a very new, refreshing, revitalizing way. And we have the Two of Swords. There will be some hard decisions to be made. Do we pick comfort? Comfort's easiest. Comfort's, well, maybe it'll work out on its own. Maybe it'll just fall into my lap. Maybe I'll just open up the door and there'll be a wheelbarrow full of money there one day. Who's to know? Weirder things have happened. Or you can go out. The one thing I didn't say about the magician is we have to show through our emotions that we truly want this with every beat of our heart, with every breath we take. That this is our passion, our desire, our dream. Two of Swords. As easy as it is to say it, there will be things that we have to do in order to allow the transformation, allow it to become tangible in our path going forward. We may have to have some uncomfortable conversations or do some things that, wow, we really don't even know if we're truly capable of that, but we will find that we were, and we are. Let's go to the ancient stones. See what card it gives us today. We have nothing is impossible. Open to the unexpected, you'll find a way. Nothing is impossible. Open. Open to the unexpected, you will find a way. Well, if that's not telling us to get out of our comfort zone, I don't know what is. Well, let's go and see what they have to say about this. Nothing is impossible. I'll hold that card up because I found that by sitting for a couple of moments and meditating on these cards, most times more images appear to me. So, if they do, if they don't, otherwise enjoy the card as I read. Sometimes paths appear in the most unexpected places. Barriers that we previously believed were in our way suddenly roll away and assist us on our journey. Obstacles that we thought were stopping us from progressing create holy detours that lead us to an unexpected destiny. This is that card in the deck. The one that encourages you to turn your gaze upward and to believe in the impossible. Things will likely not turn out the way you thought they would, or even the way you thought you may have hoped it to be. However, in the end, it is possible that they will turn out even better than you could have imagined. Many faith paths urge us to embrace life's changes. Trust that if something is for us, it cannot be taken from us, which is very true. For our destiny, when embraced, is written in stone. If life hasn't been going to plan, fret not, because things are being woven on your behalf. Your path and desires haven't been forgotten. They're just a little different from what you thought. Have faith, trust, and an open mind and heart. You'll find a way through it, and in the one day not too distant, you'll see how life has been unfolding for you every step of the way. The ancient stone's activation is I open my mind and heart to the unexpected. Everything working out on my behalf. Everything is working out on my behalf, which is a beautiful intention to say. Today, everything is working out on my behalf. Let's see what the animals have to say. And we have, look at us, see through the illusion with the dragonfly. So have we created this kind of illusion that we need to stay in this comfort zone for whatever reason? Have we told ourselves that things will get much better even though we don't do anything different? Because, people who do the same thing day in and day out and expect a different result, that is the definition of insanity. So we have the dragonfly. I had so many dragonflies this summer. Oh my gosh, I took pictures of them. I keep meaning to upload them for you. Of all the animals that came to visit me, I had woodpeckers and finches and herons and I think it was a couple of days ago. I was sitting there. I was working on the foundation of my shed, and I look up, and all of a sudden, there is a German Shepherd just sniffing one of the trees on my property. I'm like, he was like, I don't know, 15 feet away. I'm like, hey, buddy, how's it going? Join the party. Okay, so we have the dragonflies. Accomplishments, inspiration, wishes. I've realized that the past and the future are real illusions that they exist in the present, which is all there is. And Oh my gosh, I read that really bad. I have realized that the past and future are real illusions, that they exist in the present, which is what there is and all there is. Dragonfly reminds us that there is beauty within the simple things, the passion helps to lift the flight. Now is the time for you to reward yourself for every accomplishment, small and large. Shed the sadness from your soul and spirit so that you can see through the illusions you have created that doesn't fit the real you. Pick up some motivational novels, stories, autobiographies, and feel the shift within your vibration. Paste sticky notes around your home, your desk, your mirror, even your car, and have inspirational quotes on them. Share your wishes and dreams with your family, friends. Dragonflies can often be found around water sources, and they represent strong emotion within you. Write a letter to yourself, forgiving yourself for all the times you've felt you failed. Then add all your accomplishments that you had and want to complete. It is time to be your true self, the one you were born to be. Dragonflies come in a variety of colors and are often seen as magical. One moment their color may look green, the next blue. The message behind dragonfly is that sometimes life isn't all what it appears to be. See through the illusion that either you or someone else in your life is trying to portray. And I mean, the dragonfly is really, something that they popped into my head is 90% of a dragonfly's life is actually under the water. Can you imagine waking up one day and finally saying, okay, I'm going to go to the other side of this water and see what's out there. I'm going to fly. I'm going to get through it. I've got these wings. And you fly out and now you're on top of the water looking down. And you just thought that your existence was under that water the whole time. You never questioned it. You got bigger, you grew, you changed in certain ways, but you never thought that something miraculous as flying above the water would ever be possible. So a little bit more about the making the impossible possible. It's a strong energy for us today. An incredibly wonderful energy for us to work with today. A gift so that as we enter that full moon, we have direction, we have clarity to know where we need to put the completion in our life, the endings in our life, leaving things in the rearview mirror as we go forward. Until we meet again, remember, I do love you.